ladies, Coach Kate here. Today I'm going to go over a few stretches that you can do post-workout, post-booty exercises to make sure that we're alleviating any stress we may have caused and to help with the soreness afterwards. So I'm going to go through a series of stretches, and you can do all of these post-workout if you'd like, or even on your rest days to help you stay a little bit looser and alleviate some of that soreness. So the first thing that Beth and I would recommend is foam rolling, okay? So foam rolling is a form of what we call myofascial release, and that means we are breaking up the muscle. It's actually a micro damage to the muscle, and what it does is releases toxins, and it helps blood flow to the muscle so that it recovers a little bit better, a little bit easier. So I like to roll on each side of my glute. I also like to roll all the way down my hamstrings, and also roll my quads and my calves. The quads and calves are often overlooked, but if you have never rolled them out before, I would definitely recommend doing so, and you will probably find that you are pretty tight in those areas. If you are super tight, I don't recommend this for everybody, and I would be very cautious with this, but I sometimes use a softball or even a lacrosse ball, something a little bit harder to get into hard to reach places like the space between your hamstrings, and then also the up by the hip flexors, okay? So you can use those. I would use them very cautiously, and only if you know what you're doing, because you can you can cause some damage this way, okay? So the first stretch we're going to do is a simple butterfly stretch. So my feet are all the way together. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, okay? Usually when you see people do a butterfly, they're hunched over here and they're arching in the lower back, and that's what we don't want to do, okay? So we need to stay upright in everything that we do. Make sure our core is aligned with our pelvis, and I'm going to push down on my knees and just pulse here, okay? Most of the physical therapists I've talked to, and from what I've seen in my experience, personal training, is that dynamic stretching is better, I wouldn't say better, or more optimal, produces better results than static stretching. So making sure you're doing little pulses with your stretches will probably be a better way than just sitting here holding it down, okay? So a few short pulses here, I would say 15 to 20, making sure we're stretching out those adductors right here in the middle. And you're also going to feel this throughout the hip flexors as well, okay? So sit up nice and tall, feet together, pulse down. That's the butterfly stretch, okay? Next stretch will be the hamstring stretch. We're going to show it in a pike position first. So I'm here in pike, and then I'm going to reach forward, and I am hinging at the hips, okay? I'm not bending over at the waist. My back isn't rounding. My back stays upright, nice and straight, and I'm just going to reach for my toes. You should feel that good stretch in the back of your legs. Again, keep that core tight. Make sure you're not bending with your back. Okay, about 15 to 20 pulses there. The next exercise we're going to do for your hamstring is a lying stretch. We're going to hold the knee at 90 degrees. Other leg is on the ground. I'm going to hold right here behind the knee. Make sure my knee stays there. And I'm going to pull my leg up as high as I can. And as you can see, my hamstrings are pretty darn tight, so that's as high as I can go. Hopefully you can go a little bit higher. And this is actually better than it was a couple weeks ago. So I'm making progress. So again, we'll do about 15 to 20 here. Switch sides. Holding here the knee. Pull the toe up. We're just stretching to mild discomfort, not pain, okay? You can overstretch. You can cause injury through stretching, okay? So I know you were probably told as a child that stretching is great. Athletes are told to stretch all the time, but you can overstretch, okay? So make sure that doesn't happen. Next, we're going to do a lying external rotator stretch. This is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to explain, but I'm going to try and show you anyway. So I'll show you in a couple different positions. The first one, we're just like we were on the hamstrings, lying. I'm going to put my hand on my knee, and then I'm going to grab for my shin. What I'm going to do is push my knee away and pull my shin towards me, okay? This is a small movement. My external rotators are very tight. So this is about all the motion I can handle, and that's okay, because I'm working on it, all right? This is all I need to do right here. Feel a mild stretch, not pain. Doing about 15 to 20 pulses here, okay? Again, we're gonna do that on each side. I'm gonna show you from the other way. So I've got my leg here, parallel with the ground, knees at 90 degrees, trying to keep that knee out over your hip, pulling forward, okay? Flex the toe if you can to protect your knee. Again, we're gonna do that on each side. And the side's tighter. I'm gonna show you a different stretch for this one, standing in just a minute, okay? Next one, we're gonna do what I call a calf walkout. You may have done this in yoga, but I get up in this position and all I'm doing is walking out my calves. And that's gonna stretch all the way up into my hamstrings, okay? So I'm just walking those calves out, trying to drive my heels through the ground. This one feels really good. About 15 to 20 steps each side. Next one, I call this bear in the woods. You'll see why. I'm gonna point my toes out as wide as they'll go, bring my heels in just a little bit. I'm gonna bring my hips up underneath me as far as I can, and then I'm gonna pulse out, pushing my feet out just slightly, okay? Pushing those knees out just a little bit till I get that good stretch. I feel that stretch right here in the adductors. Pulsing out. All right, for the next few, I'm gonna be standing, so I'm gonna reposition real quick. So these next few, I'm gonna be standing up, and I'm gonna use my chair as well. So the first one is another hamstring stretch, and we're gonna be in the pike position, okay? So again, I want to lean down through the hips as much as I can, okay? I'm not just bending over here, stretching out the lower back, all right? I am bending down at the hips, keeping my back nice and straight, trying to touch those toes. You should feel that all the way down the hamstrings and all the way up through the glutes. Okay, 15 to 20 pulses there. Then I'm going to do a side lunge. Feet nice and wide. We're just gonna lunge from side to side. And I really want you to try to sit back in your hips. It's okay if that toe leaves the ground, just make sure your heel is grounded. And we're leaning from side to side. So if you'll watch my booty here, I'm sitting back, okay? I'm not leaning forward, causing stress in the knee. I'm trying to sit back, keep my chest up. Okay, side to side. 15 to 20 of those. Next, I'm going to stand in a V stance, and we're just reaching. Side, middle, and side. Okay, you can do that in whatever combination you want. I'm sure you remember that one from gym class. All right, lastly, we are going to do a standing external rotator stretch. Now this chair is a little bit taller than I would like for it to be, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's the only thing I have right now. So I could stand on a box or stand on something that would make me a little bit taller, but in the essence of time, I'm going to do this a little bit not right. So bear with me. Your ankle is going to go up on the chair. Your toe should be flexed. Knee should be straight, okay, right in line with your hip. And this leg is parallel with your body, okay? So just like when we were lying down, except for now we're just going to pulse forward. Making sure we're leaning here and we're not bending over at the waist. Okay, so try and drive your hips forward. And that's where you should feel a good stretch all throughout your glutes here. Stretching out those external rotators here, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to do a couple different positions here just so you can see it a little bit better. Here's the other leg. I've got my front leg right in the middle so I'm not lopsided. I'm leaning forward through the hips. 15 to 20 pulses here. And now I'm going to show you from the back side. Leg up. Hip is straight. Knee is lined up with the hip. Pulsing forward. Again, please make sure you do these stretches just to a mild discomfort, not pain, because you can't overstretch. If you have any questions about these stretches or if you'd like to see more, please let me know and we'll get something else going for you, ladies. Thanks.